Hey guys, so we are here solving the question which is from DP day 3 of leetcode. Name's house robber. So we have given you are a professional robber planning to rob houses along a street. Each house has a certain amount of money. That's the only constant stopping you from robbing each of them is adjacent houses have security system connected. It will automatically connect to the police if two adjacent houses are broken into the same night. So basically the problem is very simple. In terms of explanation, we have given an array and each indexes represent amount of money that each house have. Suppose in index 0 it has 1 money, or what you can say amount of money is equals to 1 in that, and here is 2, 3 and 1 respectively. So we as a robber cannot loot these both houses which are adjacent to each other. We can either loot a 1 and a 3, or either can loot a 2 or a 1, or can either loot a 1 and a 1 and so on. But we cannot loot 1 2 and 2 3 or a 3 1 which are adjacent to each other. So we have to find a algo, or do need to do certain stuff so we can perform that in our what you can say code. So here we have an example. So we have a 1 and a 2 and a 3, and let me write indices from here, and I have written indices over here. And index 0 we have either a two choice, either we pick that or not pick that, because if we pick that element, our bag will contain one which is amount of money we are gathering from here. So we are gathering money from here. So if we take this is 0, we have either two choices, or take or not. If we take that, so we cannot go into that house which is index 2, so we have to go to that house which is step from there. So we will reach into the third index, and I we have same choice here, either we take that or not take that. uh, if we take that, we cannot do that one. It means we have to return from there, which is a 0 or whatever you have to return from there. And in that case, if we do not want to loot that house, so we reach into the 2 which is at index 1, and same here we have two choices, either a loot or a not a loot. So we have to put into that our consideration that we cannot lose adjacent houses or indices. In a simple way, if I am trying to loot a house of 1, so I cannot loot house of a 0 or house of a 3. I have to move to the fourth. So taking that into consideration, we have to perform some and here we are asked to return the maximum amount of money, so we have to do our calculation continuously. So doing this, we need to think of a recursive approach, and that approach is called simple recursion. So what we will do, we will create first int equals to 0. I will start from a 0th index, and I will create a function which will give me max from my nums array. I will pass int over here, and here I will create a function which will return a int max. It will take array of nums which is passed from above, and int of int means index. So I have to just I have to pick that element or not pick that. If I pick that element, I simply need to take nums int mm, from my nums array, whatever it is, whatever the value it is. If I pick that element, means I cannot pick the element just adjacent to it. I have to move plus one indices over that. So I will call on recursion. Hey recursion, I want to pick another element which is not uh, just next, it's next of next element. And in second case, in no pick I have, and in no pick I do not want to pick, so I just delete that and put a 0 over here. I do not want to pick that element over there, and I need to call on recursion. Hey nums, I didn't pick the first element, I need to try the second element, which is just a step from here. So after that I need to return maximum of pick or no pick. I will get the maximum out of both, whichever it is I will return that. So math dot max of pick and no pick, no pick. So we have written our code which is of 3 line maximum, and for this to work we need to return a certain base cases. What are base cases? So our recursion work properly if our index reach our greater than equals to our nums dot length. It means I have traversed all the array and I do not have any more choices. So I return a 0 from here. I don't have any choices, just give me my answer from here. So I will return a 0 from here. It's not a nums, it's int. If int greater than equals to nums or length, I simply return a 0. If I need to pick, I will add that element and move plus 2 elements forward, and if I do not want to pick, I simply add a 0, or we don't need to add a 0 here. So I will call recursion, just check for number after my indices of, if I indices here 1, I will check here 3. If I indices here 1, I will check here for 2. So that's simple case, and after that I will return the maximum of both of the same. If I run a code, so it gets accepted for the first test case, and if I try to submit it, let's see what happens. It will give us a TLA because it's making a lot of overlapping calls of a same problem. So we have to make it optimized using a DP. So how do you initialize a memorization DP? Create a DP array simply, new int, and size will be nums dot length plus 1, and we have to pass that DP from here. Before passing, I need to fill that DP with our minus ones because we don't have minus 1 in our uh, nums array given. So I fill that array and I have to take the DP here itself. So I have taken, and here I simply check if DP of int not equals to minus 1, simply return DP of int here. So it has been taken care of. Now let me put that thing aside here first, and before returning I am putting the value of max of both element into my int, so I can return fill my DP array with the value of max of both of the elements. So if I run again, so we have some complication issue here. Oh, we have to pass the DP parameter into our function call or recursive call. So we have to pass here a DP because above we are passing a DP, and also we have to pass a DP here. So if I run a code and find compilation error exists or not, so there are no compilation error, even try to submit it. So we have let's see what we got, and it's running very good. Here what is this is 0 ms. So we have learned it's basically a knapsack type problem. Either you pick or not, is a variation of a knapsack problem, which is a standard dynamic problem. 0 1 knapsack to be precise, and it is not unbounded, it's a bounded knapsack. We cannot pick a element twice. So thanks.